This was such a stupid idea. For some reason, I decided to do this episode stand-up outdoors for the intro and the outro because I felt like it would be a better visual, and instead I'm just freezing my ass off. I'm so stupid. A freezing cold winter blast has gripped the Northeast, but Joe Beningo's fury is keeping me warm. As you guys know, I grew up in the New York area, and one of the most preeminent, memorable voices of WFAN's long and storied history is Joe Beningo. Joe began as a caller calling into the radio station, and he was so interesting and so compelling and such a diehard, they actually gave him a shift on air, and he parlayed that into being one of the long-standing voices of the radio station. He is a die-hard Jets fan, and sometimes that passion spills out into lunacy. And this all started when I was on SNY television a couple of nights ago defending Todd Bowles. I think he's actually got kind of a bum rap. He squeezed 5 wins out of them, so I didn't think it was that big a deal. I was going to defend the Jets bringing back Todd Bowles. Here's the video that Joe Beningo woke up to, watched, and then lost his mind.
He's not what you would call a quote-unquote quarterback whisperer. He's not Sean McVay. He's not going to remind you of Mike Tomlin. I've seen enough of Todd Bowles. Case closed.
It's a good thing he's not a quarterback whisperer because they don't have a quarterback on the roster to whisper to at this point. I'm bringing back Todd Bowles because coming into this season, all I heard was this could be an 0-16 Jets team. This might be the worst skill position group of guys ever in NFL history. That's what people were saying. He's not a great game manager. He might even not be a head coach in the top half of this league, but I just don't see how you can expect more out of 5 wins plus them being competitive compared to where we were before the season. You want to be back on that coaching carousel. You're already back on the quarterback carousel. Right. You don't have that answer. I would say stay with stability. He's not embarrassing the franchise. In fact, I think Todd Bowles got more out of this team than most coaches could have done this.
I think you're wasting a year. Honestly, if a guy like Bill O'Brien, let's say, gets fired by the Houston Texans.
Bill O'Brien better.
Another guy, absolutely.
8-8.
Absolutely.
7-9.
Playoffs.
9-7.
Playoffs, DA.
Playoffs. He plays
Playoffs.
the South.
I don't care. Playoffs.
It's the worst division of football.
He takes teams to the playoffs. Would you rather have Bill O'Brien or Todd Bowles? I wouldn't think twice.
Bowles.
Bill O'Brien.
Love the energy, Phillips.
Bill O'Brien.
There you go. Good job, boys.
Well, the next day in the studios, I do my show for CBS Sports Radio in the studio next door to WFAN. Joe B, who's always been great to me, verbally assaulted me in the office. Bro, I saw you on SNY TV. Bro, Bowles is a disaster. You're going to defend this guy? Bowles is a nightmare. And I'm sitting there going, oh my God, you're an insane person. So I figure it just dies there. I'm like, Joe, I gotta go. I gotta tape an interview here in the studio. Slowly trying to back myself away from the confrontation. Well, later on that day, he gets on the air and starts skewering me on the air. At that point, I said, I gotta call in to defend myself. Of course, that went well.
It's Joe Beningo and Evan Roberts on The Fan.
Joe and Evan and Joe.
Damon Amendolara. I woke up this morning and I popped on Sports Night. Let me check it out. As Jastrzemski and Amendolara are arguing about Todd Bowles, and of course JJ's dead on, 100% right about what he said, and his DA like going on about the greatness of Todd Bowles. Hello, Damon. How are you?
I'm well, Joe. What is wrong with you?
There's nothing wrong with me. I'm a Jet. You know what's wrong with me? I'm a Jet fan. This is like I have been cursed to root for this woebegone franchise since 1965. That's the issue I have right there.
I understand that, but at no point did I talk about the greatness of Todd Bowles.
I understand.
I was merely saying if you're trying to assess Todd Bowles this year, how can you not come out with a passing grade if we assume they were going to be 0-16 or 1-15?
But see, let's stop right there. We know nothing. We know nothing.
Okay, so then if we don't know anything, how can we grade out any coach ever? Why wouldn't you just assume then that what you know is wrong and that Todd Bowles is a good coach?
He's not a good coach. The 2 times they had a chance to do something after they beat Buffalo, after they were dancing, doing the frug after that win over Buffalo, what happens? They go to Tampa. Oh, no.
So Joe is losing his mind.
Last night, JJ and I were discussing whether you fire Todd or not.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, with everybody coming into this season, whether you were the most optimistic Jets fan or not, we all agreed no talent in the skill position.
But that's bull.
Now,
But that's bull. How about Robbie Anderson? How about Jermaine Kearse? How about Bilal Powell? The offensive line was even better than what people said. I could throw Safarian Jenkins in there, too. And the quarterback played much better than anybody thought he would.
So how can we not give credit to the head coach?
Why? They should have won. How about the games they didn't win? How about the game they blew to Miami? Hold on.
So clearly I'm getting a word in edgewise here.
How about the game they blew to Miami? The game they blew to Atlanta? The game they blew to Carolina? Not showing up and didn't even get off the plane against the Bronco team that had lost 8 straight games. They didn't even get the plane for that game.
Nobody thought the Jets were going to win 3 games, let alone be competitive in 5 or 7.
But this is the narrative that was out there.
They weren't a good
This
team
is the narrative that was out there. Okay, this was the narrative that was out there.
So this is going well.
Give me another coach that knows what he's doing. I guarantee they would have won 8 or 9 games this year.
Okay, so last night, this is a good question. Last night, JJ brought up Bill O'Brien.
In a second, in a nano. I will take him in a nanosecond. The guy's never had a quarterback until Deshaun Watson. Never. And he won. And I understand. I heard what you said. They were a terrible division. Okay. But he won the division at least twice, 3 times in the playoffs with garbage at quarterback. Garbage.
No, guess what? Had Bill O'Brien went 10-6 like Todd Bowles would have a couple of years ago, he would have won the division. So also,
Todd Bowles lost the game he had to win. How about why do you dismiss the game in Buffalo against an inferior Bills team that they lost with the season on the line? How do you dismiss that?
But why would I not bring up the other 15 games? See,
they've lost 23 in the last 33. What are you talking about, Damon? You know what, David? Do me a favor.
You can barely hear me over the rumbling train that is Joe B just screaming at me.
I don't put stock, Damon. I don't put stock. I don't put stock in guys who don't root for my team with what they say about it, because you're not watching every second of the games. I'm telling you, you're not, and you don't have the emotional attachment that I have. You don't have the emotional attachment I have today.
Okay, so from that logic, since you're a Jets fan, don't ever talk about the Giants again on the radio. Okay.
Well, hey, you know what? You could say whatever you want, but here's what I don't put stock.
Okay, so Joe, when I hear you talk about the Yankees or the Giants, I'm not going to talk. I'm not going to think that you have any credibility.
That's fine. Okay, great. You do whatever you want to do, David.
So that's half of
do whatever you want to do. So you like Bowles? You think Bowles is a good coach?
Here is my point. I think that you cannot say that anybody else would have gotten more out of this team outside of like the top 3 coaches of the NFL. And if you are going to shop for the top 3 coaches of the NFL, where is that guy available right now? Okay,
so we should just accept this guy for another. Herm Edwards, by the way, took the Jets to the playoffs 3 times more than any coach in the history of the franchise, and even won a division.
Herm Edwards' best season ever was 10-6.
Right,
what
twice. But he made the playoffs those 2 years. And he won a division as well, which has only happened 4 times in history.
His 10-6 is different than.
Of course it is. Of course it is.
Okay, number 2. He went 4-12 twice and 2-14.
Okay.
So those sound like Todd Bowles numbers. And he also had Chad Pennington and a running back that's in the Hall of Fame.
I understand.
I don't see those. I don't see those guys for Todd Bowles right now.
I understand. The bottom line is the guy's 10-22.
And also on Bill O'Brien. Bill O'Brien last year, I don't know if you noticed, but had the number 1 statistical defense in the NFL.
But he had no quarterback. His quarterback was who? Brian Hoyer?
That's his problem. He was going through T.J. Yates and Case Keenum and all the other guys. Where was his brilliance with Case Keenum? This year, suddenly,
Case Keenum, sometimes, look, we've many guys that find it late in their careers. Would you agree with that?
Well, okay.
No, yes, I'm just saying.
Why would we not hold that accountable to Bill O'Brien for not finding it?
Well, I don't know. Maybe they weren't ready to be found yet. I mean, sometimes that's part of it. So you think Todd Bowles is a better coach than Bill O'Brien? Is that what you're saying?
It's a push at best because Bill O'Brien has done less with more.
All right. I'll tell you what, Damon, you can come in and host my show the day Todd Bowles takes my team to the playoffs, okay?
He's threatening me with hosting his show. Joe, I'm good. I host a radio show. I don't need another shift.
You come in, you will host my show the day that Todd Bowles takes the Jets to the playoffs. Is that fair?
You want to host my show tomorrow?
No, I don't want to host you. I don't want any part of your show. You could come in and do my show.
Who says that I want any part of your
maybe you don't. Show? I don't know if you. Maybe you don't. You have my blessing, and you can extol the virtues of the greatness of Todd Bowles. Okay. Is that fair?
The greatness of Joe Beningo was during the overnights when I was growing up, getting to listen to you after Jets meltdowns.
Right.
Now being on the receiving
and it just
end
continues
of Jets meltdowns is a wonderful thing for me personally, because you're a huge part of me growing up as a fan of WFAN, as a fan of New York sports. But I can tell you, you're not well, Joe, when you just assault somebody in the studios for having a take that disagrees with you. You're a sicko.
You got to understand. You got to understand.
You're
you know what?
demented.
You know what? You know what, Damon? When it comes to the Jets, I'm sick. I'm sick of what I've seen for the last 50 years. You're 100% right.
Understand. Maybe we could be on SNY together that day.
We'll see. We'll see about that. I try. You got to understand. I try to do as little amount of work as I can. Maybe we
can agree on our misery when it comes to the Mets. Okay, both you and I are Mets fans.
Okay, well, we're lucky about it. We're very fortunate in that regard.
How about we just together? We'll go get a sandwich. We'll go have a beer, and we can lament the Mets together.
That's fine. You know what? I should be at 64 years old. I should be over this, but I'll never get over it.
But you're still firing bullets, and I love that.
Yeah, well, I appreciate it. And honestly, I didn't mean to get on you. I don't mean to. I have no ill will towards Damon Amendolara.
I'm glad this has a happy ending.
Todd Bowles is one thing. Damon Amendolara is another. And Todd Bowles may be a wonderful human being. He's a horrific head coach. What else can I say?
Joe, I love you.
Damon, all the love, Damon.
All the love, bro.
All right, we'll see you. Damon Amendolara.
That was a bizarre discussion. You're screaming at each other, and you're hugging it out.
I don't dislike the guy.
Again, the Jets are killing this man. I think the picture of Joe Namath directly outside the WFAN doors every single day is just taunting him. It's reminding him every single morning he walks in that life used to be that good, and now it's terrible. And that was the last time it was good. But at the end of the day, I'm a huge fan of Joe B. In some ways, it's an honor to be mother effed by Joe Beningo. For the WFAN loyals that love Joe B like I do, hey, if you enjoy this video, subscribe to more episodes of Nomad. Click on this button right here, and you'll get automatic notifications of when I've got a new episode up. This is my travel web series, and usually it surrounds going to sporting events and eating cool things, but in this case, I had to honor the day that a New York sports radio icon absolutely annihilated me on the radio for my Todd Bowles take. I don't think I'll ever have another day like that, and that's a shame. My career is now complete. Just remember, even when you think you've got a benign sports opinion, you never know who's listening. You might just get assaulted at your office the next day. Amendo, out.